I'm Lainey,
I'm Jessica.
and today is Valentine's Day. Valentine's
Woo!
Day episode, all about the
Valentine's.
love.
Yeah, all about it. Hopefully, I mean, you might be part of the Lonely Hearts Club, and that's fine too. Welcome. Then it's Galentine's Day.
Galentine's.
Yeah,
We love a good
we love
Galentine.
a good Galentine's Day.
Yeah.
Yeah. For today's episode, we know it's a little bit before, but we just wanted to kind of go over some of our favorite romances. Whether you love them or hate them, we love them.
Yeah.
Can't get enough of them. Depending on the season.
Yeah.
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 Sometimes I'll read a romance and I'm just like cringing the whole
Like,
time, and I'm
bleh.
realizing that I'm just not in the mood for a romance.
Yeah, that's when you go thriller, killer.
Exactly.
You're like, I just need some stabbing.
Some gore, please.
Yeah, I just need some little death. That'll cheer me right up. We compiled our list of our favorite
Of
romances
all
of
time.
of all time, which is hard because there's just so many good ones.
Yeah.
So we tried to narrow it down to like what, 5?
Yeah.
Yeah, 5. That was really hard for me. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
And then I also put in here a couple of that I'm looking forward to this year.
Yep.
Whether they're going to be good or bad, we don't know yet. But we're about to find
Yep.
out. So, but first we wanted to talk of
Yeah.
like, what are we currently reading?
What are we reading? What are we listening to?
Yeah, what's our vibe right now? What you got?
I'll go first. I am reading Piranesi by Susanna Clark.
Girl, you always,
I pull something out.
I'm like, where are you getting this? I love it. I never know what you're going to say, honestly.
It is a weird, trippy dream that I'm reading right now, but I'm kind of here for it. It reminds me a lot of like Greek mythology, um, a little bit of fantasy. It's just go into it blind. That's all
Yeah.
I have to say. I went into it blind. I have no idea what's going on, but I'm enjoying it so far.
I love it.
And I've been impressed. But I'm listening to, as of right now, a couple things. First is Iron Flame, trying to knock that out before Onyx Storm.
Right.
And then the next one is God of the Woods. It's that thriller that everybody's talking about.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, about the summer camp. That one I've had to kind of time out because we've talked about this before. Don't like listening to thrillers at home alone in the dark.
Never.
So that's my daytime driving book, and then Iron Flame is my soft comfort at night.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah, it's been good. I've
Yeah.
been having a good time.
Awesome.
How about you?
Let's see. Okay, so I just finished. I've kind of been going back to back to back. The Hawthorne Legacy books.
Ooh.
Yeah, I did the sorry, that's the name of the book too. The first one is called The Inheritance
Yes.
Games. Yes, and it's by Jennifer Lynn Barnes.
Okay.
I just kept seeing the cover and I was like, oh, sounds like a cool premise. Loved it, and I was like, oh, it's a young adult. They kind of put it out there as like a young adult version of Knives Out.
Huh.
It's like a 17-year-old girl who, came from a hard life. One day is contacted that she's inherited billions of dollars from this guy. She has no
Nice.
idea. Yeah, but in order to get the money, she's got to like live in the house or the McMansion for a year. It's based in Texas, which I gotta love.
Oh,
It's like some
fun.
Texas billionaire. And
Oil
everyone
money.
who lives in the house, yeah, it's like, well, and then all the family lives in the house, and it's
Oh
like
my
they're out
gosh.
together because they want the money.
That sounds really good.
It was really good. It's a young adult version, so it's not like anything super crazy. Really good. There's 4 brothers, which are the Hawthorne brothers, so you
Oh.
kind of love them. And so I did that book. Then I went straight into book 2, which is the Hawthorne Legacy. Loved it. Little love triangle there. There's 2 brothers that she's in love with. I didn't love who she picked at the end.
No.
Yeah, they did me dirty.
Oh
So
no.
I'm not excited to read book 3 because I don't like who she ended up with.
Maybe
so.
she'll switch.
Mm,
Is
I
that like
don't know.
cemented?
I don't know. No, because they're 17. Nothing's cemented when they're 17.
They don't know what love
They
is.
don't- sorry, you don't. So nothing's in cement right now, but still, they did them dirty. Okay, so yeah, I don't love who she picked at the end of book 2, so I don't know if I'm gonna read book 3.
Cool.
So I did dive into. I finally am listening to The Women.
Ooh,
Chris and Hannah.
it's heavy.
Yeah, it is. Our book. Yeah, I went from like a young
Lighthearted,
adult
yeah,
Knives
YA.
Out to like, let me read about Vietnam. So our book club read it and they all loved it, and me and you didn't finish it, right?
I didn't finish it.
I didn't either. It just wasn't the time. So I'm in it now. I'm almost done.
And
It's heavy, man. I mean, I don't think anyone's gonna have a lighthearted book on Vietnam, so let's be honest. I knew what I was getting into, but
is it like powerful heavy, like worth it heavy?
yeah, but it's also heartbreak. I mean, all of Kristen Hannah's are. I like Kristen Hannah. She's heavy though.
Yeah.
She did like The Great Alone. She did The Four Winds, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, The Nightingale. It's these are
Heavy topic.
Heavy topics, man. It's beautiful. It's sad. It's heartbreaking. I don't know if I'm gonna love it, but it's good if you like that kind of stuff.
That'll be a good like listening to that and then going into Onyx Storm.
Yeah,
It'll be
let's
like
go.
yeah, it'll be like a good pump up book.
I'm gonna be like, well, that was depressing.
Yeah.
Everyone died. Now let's go to Onyx
On to the
Storm.
next one.
Yeah, another one.
Back to my coping mechanism.
Yes,
Fantasy.
yes. So that's what I'm currently reading,
cool.
listening to. Probably at this point in real life when this debuts, I will
Mhm.
be thick in Onyx Storm.
Yep.
Into the thick of it.
Into the thick of it.
Yeah. So that's what we're currently doing. Now let's get into the good stuff.
The romance.
The romance. The lovely
We just need like
romance.
that saxophone in the background.
What's his name? Kenny G.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's interesting. So we briefly looked at each other's lists beforehand
Girl.
without telling each other anything. No discussion whatsoever. We have 2 of the same books on here.
I wish we would. I wish I hadn't.
The
done
live
that.
reaction.
The live reaction. I was like, "Shut the! You have the exact same book, and this is literally of all time.
Yeah.
Of all time. So I mean,
It's
a
not
wide
even
range.
within the past year, and those are
No.
what were
Some of these
popular.
I read a decade ago.
Yes.
I mean, when I was
This is why
very
we get
young,
along so well.
when I was just a baby, I read these a mere decade ago. So yeah, okay. So let's get into it. Now, do you have yours in order? I don't
I don't
them
have mine
any
in order.
particular
Nope.
order.
No
All
order.
right.
Yeah.
First one up.
First one for me is Love and Other Words by Christina Lauren, which are duo authors. Those are two women
I forget that.
yeah, all the time.
forget
I
that.
forget that as well. But
Forget it.
Christina and Lauren, 2 authors, but go by
I just
Christina
thought she had
Lauren.
a cool name, Christina
I
Lauren.
know, right?
Okay, this is on my list.
Yeah.
This is one of those that I'm very passionate about this book, and here's why. Because there is another book
Yep.
that came out not long after this, right?
Plagiarism.
Plagiarism, like flat out copy
It
paste.
was identical.
Yeah, and here's the thing. Our book club, when we read that book.
Yep.
What was it? Is it just no?
This summer will be different.
Is
right?
it that one? This summer will be different.
I think so.
If not, I'm gonna put it right here what the title is, but I think that's what it is.
I think so.
This summer will be different by Carly
Fortune.
Fortune. Okay. So we read that book, right? I had already read Love and Other Words. And so when we read this book, I was livid the whole time. I was like, I've read this before.
Every summer after.
Every summer after. Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry to the book we just said.
This summer will be different. They're all kind of the same. They're
the
all
same.
Canadian and they're all at the
All
lake.
Canadian.
That's like the one thing that sticks out of my mind is that they're like in Canada and I can't get over it for whatever
Oh
reason.
my gosh.
Anyways,
Hey,
it's identical
copy
to
paste.
Love and Other Words, which is far superior.
Far superior.
Yeah.
I mean, if I'm not gonna lie, like for me, obviously, it was a 5-star.
Mhm.
And I remember like advocating to our book club,
Yep.
like, do not give this
Yep.
book 5 stars. You must read Love and Other Words
Yep.
because
It's the
even the
OG.
miscommunication is better.
Yeah.
It's better.
It's
Everything
so
about
good.
it. It's beautiful.
It's timeless. It's like young, awkward love blossoming into like teenage love, and then there's the miscommunication and the time gap of what, like a
10
decade or
years.
something
Yeah,
like that.
Yeah.
And then they're reunited. And so I love a good then and now dual timeline.
Mhm.
I eat that up.
Yep.
Oh my gosh. This book was addicting. Like
Mhm.
I could not put
Yeah.
it down. I think I finished it within a flight.
Oh, 100%.
It was like 3 hours. I was just
Yeah.
had to know.
Well, and it's so cute because so Love and Other Words, their communication
Yeah.
was through books.
Yeah.
Wasn't it?
Yes.
Like
Just some book nerds.
Yes. Oh. And so
My
yeah.
people.
Yeah, my people. They get me. And they had like a little secret reading closet that
Yeah.
like as a little Jessica growing up, all I wanted was a secret library. Like Belle and the Beast
Yes.
had it going for them.
Yep.
I'm like,
That's
people
all we
at our
want.
library. That's all we want.
We're simple.
We just want books.
Just books.
Yeah. And so they through their childhood they bond and fall in love through
Yeah.
the love of reading.
Yeah.
And so it was beautiful.
It was
It
so
was
cute.
so well
They're
done.
so well done.
If you haven't read it, it is Love and Other Words by Christina Lauren.
It's just a comfort read for real. Like it
Yeah.
just makes you feel warm and fuzzy.
It does.
And it's just super cute.
Yeah. I
So-
love it. That one's a good one.
Yep.
Okay, so for me, I gotta have my classic, Pride and Prejudice by Jane Austen.
Ooh.
It's good. It's good.
Yes.
Every year I read it.
The OG enemies to lovers.
The OG enemies to lover, rich man, misunderstood. He's so prideful and
Fruity.
she's prejudiced because she can't stand that he's rich. Ugh, I get that problem. I get that dilemma totally. Um,
You're
but
too rich.
yeah. Oh gosh, no. I have
Too much
standards.
money.
I can't stand too much money. That's awful.
Gross.
Yeah, you're nasty. Anyways, um, the one thing, so I love both the book and the movie, and the movie will always be the Keira Knightley
Yep.
2008 version. I
That's the
don't
only
even
one
talk
that
about the
exists.
Colin Firth one. No, that ain't it for me. Um, Matthew McFadyen, gorgeous man.
Mhm.
Um, one thing I'll say about Pride and Prejudice, because I think a lot of people do the movies instead of maybe the books. I don't think as many people are reading the
Yeah.
books. Darcy is funny in the
Yeah.
books. Like that does not come across in the movies because he's just so stoic and
Yeah.
so prideful. But in the books, he's
Yeah.
hilarious. Like it's just funny. And so I highly recommend it. Like I used to, and I need to get back into it. I read it every Christmas because
Oh.
even though it's not a Christmas story, it
Yeah.
is not in any way, shape, or form at all. But it's just something that like gives me the warm and
Yeah.
fuzzies in Christmas time.
Yeah.
And I just think Jane Austen is one of the most incredible
Mhm.
authors of all time. So
And
hands
so ahead
down.
of her.
Yeah. And a lot of the most amazing stories that we've read are just adaptions
Yeah.
of Jane Austen
Yeah.
books. And so Pride
That's
and
so true.
Prejudice, Tale as Old as Time, Bridget Jones's Diary
Yeah.
is a remake of Pride and Prejudice. I mean, yeah,
That is so true.
isn't it? It's crazy. So yeah,
Word.
yeah,
Word.
that's one of mine.
Love.
Hmm.
Um, Next one for me, I have Book Lovers by Emily Henry. And this is
Oh,
controversial. This is my favorite Emily Henry book. And a lot of people are like, "Oh, Happy Place. Oh, Funny Story." You know, more of the recent ones.
hmm,
This is like her first or second debut novel. Like it was like
really?
early on into her. I think it was People We Meet on Vacation, and then it
Mm,
was Book Lovers. But for whatever reason, I just loved it.
hmm.
It's enemies to lovers. They're both book editors.
That's what I was gonna ask. Are they the editors that
Yes,
go into the
yes,
same town?
forced proximity.
Yes.
They go to a little itty bitty town in North Carolina. They, are hating each other because they're rivals.
Hmm.
And then they obviously get together and then they make a bookstore. So like that's a huge chunk of the book that I
Oh.
loved. Wasn't even the romance part.
Hmm.
It was like them like building a library and a
Yeah.
bookstore
I
and
didn't
like
know that.
yeah,
Is this the one? I could be mistaken it. Is this the one where they both write different genres and they
that's exactly what it
make
is.
each other
Yep.
write a
Yes.
book of their
Of
okay,
the
okay.
different genre. Yep.
Yes, yes.
I just thought it was
That
so
was
cute.
so cute.
I
I
thought it
love
was
that
so
one.
cute.
That was a good
It
one.
it touched my heart. I know it's like one of the least popular Emily Henry books.
Really?
Whenever I look at like book talk books or like book reels or whatever and they're ranking her books, everybody seems to rank this one like last or
But
next to
it's about
last.
books.
I don't get it. I really don't. Yeah, I don't know. I
Okay.
loved it.
I loved
I
it.
loved it. I loved it more than Happy Place. I loved it more
Yeah.
than and so
Yeah.
yeah, that was mine. I
Okay.
love that book.
I love it. Okay, so this one I'm telling you, when I read this over a decade ago, I know I don't seem that old. But when I read this one a long time ago, this one is ingrained in my mind forever. It's called Redeeming Love.
Mm,
This is the one that I was looking at your computer and I was like, "You have Redeeming Love?"
that's one of mine.
It's so it's by
It's
Francine
so
Rivers.
good.
It's gut-wrenching. It is to me. Oh man, it's
I get
tough.
emotional talking about it.
I know.
Yeah.
I bawled. Okay, so the premise of this, it's done in 1850 during the California Gold Rush, and it's about this woman, Angel, and she's sold into prostitution as a child. It's heartbreaking. She lives a really difficult life. She has a very difficult time trusting
Yeah.
men. I mean, obviously,
Yeah.
she was used and abused
Yep.
her whole life. And then there's this man, Michael.
Michael. Yeah.
Michael.
Another
Um,
reason I love it.
yeah, another reason, Michael Hosea. And now this is a Christian
Mhm.
book, isn't it? Because he is a man that
Serves the Lord.
serves the
And I
Lord
think
and
God tells him to pursue her,
to
right?
pursue her and marry her. And I mean, she just keeps going. So married, she keeps going back to her ways though. Like,
Running
and
away.
and he still feels the need to pursue her.
Go
And
and
it's
find her. He'll
yeah,
find her with like other men. It's
yes.
like it's a it's like a graphic book. I'll
Oh,
be
it's yeah,
honest.
it's
Don't
graphic.
read this if you can't handle that sort of thing.
It
But
is not a fluffy romance
no,
by any
it is
means.
nitty-gritty for sure,
Mm-hmm.
and
Mm-hmm.
it's not, like, warm and fuzzy, it's
Mm-hmm.
like you're reading it and you're like, "Why does he keep going back?
Yes.
She keeps going and sleeping with other guys,
Yeah.
like, this makes no sense
Yeah.
whatsoever."
It's I will say not having much insight into it, I mean, I can't imagine the trauma that she had. And so it's so hard because when you're reading it, you're just like, how could she? But then you're like, I have no
Yeah,
perception of what she went through. Because again, this is
yeah,
1850. And this is when you're reading about it, it was extremely common
Mhm.
because women could not make means
Right.
for themselves. So in order to have a place to sleep at night or to have food in their belly, they had to do these kind of things. It's heartbreaking. And so I you go from like um uh love in other
Yeah,
words and
right?
book lovers to like redeeming
Yeah.
love.
Redeeming
But
love.
it I mean, man, talk about growth and development, and just at the end you're rooting for Michael, you're rooting for Angel at the end, and it's just I don't know, bring your tissues, man.
Well,
But
to me, it's like the most beautiful representation of God's love for us,
yeah.
right? Like we run away from Him constantly
Mhm.
and do the most vile things
Mhm.
in His eyes, and
Mhm.
He still pursues us
Yeah.
time and time and time again,
Mm.
redeeming love. Like
Yeah.
it's just to me, it's just it makes me emotional talking about it because
Yeah.
we judge this story and we're like, how could He love her? And
Yeah.
that's God with
Yeah.
us,
Yeah.
you know?
It's crazy. It is crazy. I mean, just unwavering devotion.
Hmm.
That was another thing of it. It was like unwavering
Yeah,
devotion. I'm like, I've never been devoted to anything like
yeah.
that in my life. So, anyways, it's beautiful. I read it like
I read it about
a
a
long time
decade ago,
ago.
and then I reread it a couple years ago.
Really?
Yeah,
Yeah. I
yeah.
need to
Because
reread
the
it.
movie
It's
came
been
out. Remember
There's a
there
movie?
you haven't seen the movie?
No.
Girl, go
Do I
watch the
want to
movie.
cry? Do
It's
I feel
very
like
good.
crying?
It's
Oh, I'm
very,
sure.
very, very it
Really?
is cut and paste from the book.
Good.
Yep,
Okay,
they did
good.
it very,
Good.
very well.
Awesome. Because yeah,
Yeah,
I would hate to see that for some of these other ones
yeah,
if they were to
it's
go
very
out.
good.
Awesome. Okay. Redeeming Love,
Yep,
Francine Rivers.
go read it.
Love it.
On a much lighter note,
Hmm.
this sounds like a joke to even say. Love Hypothesis by Allie Hazelwood. For whatever reason, this just I don't I think I love it so much because I worked in a lab in college.
Yeah.
And so I get like the lab atmosphere and like the PhD candidates and the professors and uh it's so like cutesy and not at all, it's not a deep book, let's
But
be
it's
honest.
really well
But it's
written.
very well written, and I love like the professor-student relationship. It's got a little bit of fake dating.
Mm,
The girl, for me, whatever reason, the girls that Allie Hazelwood writes are a little intolerable. I actually liked
mm,
this one. She was
hmm.
pretty cute to me.
Yeah, she is pretty cute.
Olive, and
Oh, I love that name.
yeah, I just loved this book. I ate
Hmm.
it up. I just loved the STEM,
Yeah.
aspect to it as
Yeah.
well.
Which is her
So,
jam. That's
yeah,
her bread and butter. I mean,
exactly.
as a woman,
So,
isn't she a woman in STEM?
yeah,
Yeah, that's why
yeah,
she knows all the
all the
I
things.
will tell you, when I read that book, it's so funny. It's the opposite of our fantasy books. How when you're reading a fantasy book, you're just like, I don't know how to pronounce these names. She does that in her books with like chemical
Yeah.
names and biology. I'm like, la 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 la, la, but
You
they
just
love
skip
each
over, yeah.
other. La la la. So I'm like, it's like Charlie Brown. Wah, wah,
Right, right,
wah,
right,
wah. I'm
right.
like, I don't care.
It's
I
just
love it.
fillers.
Yes, yes. No, she does that really well. That
Yeah.
was to me, that was actually my number one book of hers of all
Yeah,
time. Yeah,
for
like
sure.
hands
For
down.
sure. It's
Yeah,
been downhill since. I think it's her first
yeah,
one that she came out with and she kind of blew up.
yeah.
There's mixed reviews on it online, but I think
Hmm.
it's so cute. I
Fun
love it.
fact, she is a fan fiction
I
writer.
know, I saw
Yeah,
that.
yeah, that's how she started. So holler. That's a good one. Okay, so I mentioned this one in I think like my top reads of 2024, maybe it was 2023. Bringing Down the Duke.
Oh,
I
yes.
love it. It's by Evie Dunmore. She has a kind of a couple of books in kind of this Regency era. Um, no surprise, no shock. The reason I love it is it has a Pride and Prejudice esque kind of vibe to it. It's about this girl who's, I mean, this is like during the women's suffrage movement. So it's a little while ago. She's in college and she's trying to fight for this cause, and she meets this duke, this pompous duke, who just doesn't really kind of believe in that. Thinks like she's, I don't know. It's a course that like
Yeah.
fight like
Tension.
Darcy and Elizabeth. So obviously I'm gonna love it. And so yeah, it's he's obviously very wealthy, very aristocratic.
Yeah.
What is he? The Duke of Montgomery.
Yes.
Yeah, and so Annabelle and Duke.
Indubitably.
Yes, indubitably. But for a Regency book, it is spicy.
Oh, really?
It's got a little heat to it. It's got a kick. It's got a
Little
little
jalapeno pepper?
little jalapeno. So it's good. So I highly recommend it. I haven't read any of her other ones. There's like, um, I mean, it's one of those where she has kind of a world of these
Yeah.
things. So I'm excited to read the other ones. I don't know why I haven't,
Interesting.
but Bringing Down the Duke.
Love it.
Very good.
Very cool. I need to
Very,
check that one
very good.
out.
That one got me out of the oh, that's why I mentioned it.
I
It
think
got me
so.
out of the reading
Yeah, I
slump
remember you saying
of
that.
like the great reading slump of 2010 to 2022. Like it brought me out.
Sparked you.
Again, I'm very young, I know. So 2010, you're probably thinking, oh, she was just in elementary, right? Anyways, it got me out of my reading slump.
Oh,
So
that's awesome.
highly
Love
recommend.
that.
Yeah. So that was my fourth one. I have one more.
Fourth one.
What about you?
My fifth one.
Yep.
And I will die on this hill. My favorite book boyfriend. My favorite book couple of all time. A Court of Mist and Fury.
I was gonna say if you didn't say that, ma'am, because that's my 5.
That's yours as
Of
well.
course. Are
Why
you
are we the
shocked?
same person?
That's why we do this. That's why we do this.
I
Of course it is.
just yes, it's a fantasy book, right?
Who cares?
But the whole entirety, I would argue that the last half of Court of Thorns and Roses,
Mm-hmm.
and then all of A Court of Mist and Fury
Mm-hmm.
is the most beautiful telling of love that there
Mm.
could ever be.
Mhm.
I just think it makes me so happy. I've
Mhm.
reread this book 3
Mhm.
times because it just makes
3?
me so happy and just I don't know. To me, it's the perfect amount of longing.
Yeah.
It is just, it's just perfect.
The
I have
best
no other
line of all
words.
time. There you are.
I love
I've been
you.
looking. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that one too. But I'm like there you are. I've been looking for you.
It makes me emotional.
Deceased. Immediate. Oh, yeah. No.
It's
Obviously
perfect.
that's on my list. How could you not?
It's perfect.
How dare I if I didn't include that? Because,
Is that your fifth one?
Of course it is.
Yeah.
Of course. It literally is A Court of Mist and Fury. I didn't even write notes on it because I'm like,
I just put Rhysand and Feyre. That's what I put.
obviously, greatest love story of all time.
That's
No,
why I get so
mean, it's good.
frustrated when people are like, "Oh, I read ACOTAR and it like wasn't good. I'm not going to continue." I'm like, "Are you crazy? This is the best thing I've ever read in
Since
my
sliced
entire
bread.
life."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Back
Yeah,
to
so
it.
that's why I get so frustrated when people don't finish like ACOTAR
Mhm.
and see it through because
Mhm.
they don't get the satisfaction of the redemption that
Oh.
is Rhysand. At the end of ACOTAR, she's with freaking Tamlin.
Ugh.
Yeah, and so and then my favorite line of all time is at the end of A Court of Mist and Fury, and it's essentially I'm gonna butcher it, but and then Tamlin leads the Lady of the Night Court into his or
Oh.
his spring court or whatever,
Yes.
something like that.
Yes.
And I'm just like, oh, chills.
Yes.
It's so good.
Oh,
It's so good.
so good.
Yeah.
It's just It's
Everything
just,
about it is just
everything.
perfect.
It's immaculate.
Yeah.
Yeah. So those are definitely. I mean, it's hilarious. I don't have any more because that was
That was it.
on my
Yeah.
list as well. But what we were looking at is there's a lot coming up this year too.
Yep.
Like there's a lot. One that I have is actually another Allie Hazelwood. I'm gonna try. It's called Deep End.
You're gonna give it another
Which
shot.
is hilarious. It's called Deep End.
Yeah.
It's about like divers, like
Swimmers.
pool divers and swimmers and stuff like that. I haven't read a whole lot.
I heard it's supposed to be like super spicy.
No,
Like, I don't know if she's
like
leaning
good
in.
spice or bad.
I don't know. The last one we both didn't
Oh, it
finish.
was awful.
It was so
Sorry,
bad.
Allie, but no.
Yeah.
Like, and I know you gave a preface, but it was like
It was just
not good.
Yeah, it was just horrible.
Not good.
Well, at least
so
the
if it's
characters
like
will
that,
be better with this one. Hopefully.
I'm hoping there's a story because if it's all spice, I'm already gonna DNF it because that last one was rough.
Yeah.
Like this is one of those that I'm like, I'm giving it a chance, but I don't know. I feel like go back to love hypothesis formula, whatever that formula was.
Right.
Get back to
Formula.
it. Mm.
Stim.
Ah,
She'll be here all night, folks.
well, so yeah, I'm gonna give it a try.
Cool.
But if I hate it, I don't
I'm
know
gonna
if
let
I'm
you
gonna
read
keep.
that one first.
I'll try.
Take the
I'm gonna
hit.
be honest. If it's bad, I don't know if I'm gonna keep on with her.
Yeah.
Like it feels like it's been.
I know.
Yeah.
Yeah, because Check and Mate was not.
Oh, I actually like Check and Mate. Actually,
No!
I did. It was so cute. Oh, I forgot you had a low rating. I actually like Check and Mate. It's about
See,
chess
we are different, guys.
prodigies.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's about chess prodigies,
Yeah.
chess
Very
masters. Queen's Gambit.
Yep.
I love that.
I have Emily Henry coming out.
Okay.
I feel like romances always come out in the summer. These are all coming out in the summer.
Yeah.
Great Big Beautiful Life. No idea what it's
I
about.
have no idea either.
We're
Yeah.
just going into it.
Yeah, I don't know. Oh, is that the okay? I have no idea. Is that the one about we just read it is like 2 second grade teachers and their neighbors?
No.
Oh,
That's
who's that?
That's Sarah Adams.
Sarah Adams.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
Well,
yeah.
that one's also on my list.
Yep.
That one's called Beg, Borrow and Steal, and I'm pretty sure that's coming out in January.
I think it's already
So
out.
by the time you read it, my bad, it's already out.
Yeah.
Oh, it is out January
January
7th. Yeah.
I haven't read it.
So we're behind. But I like
I need to
Sarah
get to it. I do
Adams.
too.
Yeah.
I like her sports romances a
Oh, it's
lot.
cute. It's
Yeah.
cute. So, I'm in. I mean, Neighbors. So we already got Forced Proximity.
Yep.
Enemies to Lovers. I mean, who doesn't love two teachers who hate on each other? Love it.
Yep.
We'll see. I don't know. So that one's on there. What else you got?
Our girl Abby,
Abby.
Abby Jimenez.
Abby.
Say you'll remember me.
Say you'll
I feel like this one's gonna
remember
destroy me a
me.
little bit.
Probably.
Yeah.
That's what she does best.
And then she just puts you back together in
She
the most beautiful way.
She does. Oh, Abby, you can do no wrong. I love you.
She's so sweet. I
Yeah.
tried to add her on Goodreads. She didn't accept my friend request.
Hate her. That's
Do it that way.
terrible.
No, I mean
Crickets.
she's got like
No.
50 friends. Why is she gonna add me?
B51.
She liked your post. No,
What?
that was rock paper scissors.
Oh,
Never
I
mind.
was like, did you see the stars in my eyes? I was like, what? Which post? Oh, now you got me crying for no reason. Abby, be our friend.
Please.
Gosh, I am in her Facebook group, which is actually really funny. Like,
Oh.
it's a cute group where like you know, well,
Is she in it?
yeah, she's in it.
Does she-
She's awesome.
Do you talk to her?
In my head, I do.
Tell her to add me.
Dearest Abby. Dear Abby. No, yeah, I'm super pumped for this because like her last book was a banger. So I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love it.
She's just a very good writer.
She is. Let's see.
What
Oh, I
else
only
you
have
got?
one more left. Actually, the last one I have is and I'm probably pronouncing this wrong. It's called Sith and Sparrow or
Okay.
Scythe or Skeeth. Scythe. I don't know. I'm gonna say Sith.
Okay.
Sith and Sparrow. It's by Bryn Weaver. I already talked about this earlier. It's part of the serial killer trilogy: Butcher and Blackbird, Leather and Lark. I'm excited about Sith, Scythe, Skeeth, and Sparrow. I'm gonna say Sith and Sparrow.
Okay.
And it's about Fionn. It's I can't do it in their Irish accents. Fionn.
Forget that.
Yeah, I think. Yeah. So, Fionn and Rose, who's like a circus motorcyclist.
What?
Yeah, like in the circuses, circus.
And they like jump over
circi.
buses?
Yeah, where sorry. I promise I went to
plural.
college for literature, not grammar. Yeah, like I think of like the motorcycle that goes around the sphere of death or whatever.
Yeah.
I'm picturing that as Rose. And then Fionn is I
That's
think a doctor.
the female?
Yeah, Rose. Yeah. Yeah, no, Fionn is a sweetheart doctor. He's just
so
he's
hard
just a
not to
nice
judge.
guy. Yeah, he's just a nice guy, and he gets entangled with this
Bad girl.
Cirque motorcyclist.
You do, you girl.
I don't know, but I don't
I
know.
hope it
'cause
brings you everything that you want.
I hope so too, because the first two, they're obviously all serial killers. Love them for that. But Fionn's supposed to be the nice guy, and so
Yeah.
I'm like, is there gonna be?
Who's the serial killer?
Yeah, who's gonna be? Is it gonna be Rose, circus person?
Watch him be the
Is
good
there
guy,
death?
and then
Oh,
it's like Dr. Death. He kills people like patients or something like that.
No, not Fionn. I don't know what to think.
I don't know Fionn,
I
so
don't
I'm
know.
just throwing
You
out
don't know him?
outrageous
Oh, how do you not know him?
comments.
No, it's gonna be good. I'm excited. So that's gonna come out like any day now. And I love her cover. I know this is weird. This is different, but the cover art for these books are so good.
Really?
Oh, I love. That's what drew me in
Yeah.
initially. I went into these books blind, but the cover was gorgeous. And so, yeah, look these up. This one's like they do it in a very stark color, like hot pink is the
Oh,
first one
okay.
and black, and the second one's like blue and black, and this one's yellow and black. But I can't explain it other than it's just a really good graphic of what's happening.
Yeah.
So I'm pumped. Like, so that's I don't even know if it's a love. I'm assuming it's a love story,
Gotta be.
deathly love story. I don't know. Anyways, that's coming out soon. But that's all I have for
That's
what
all
I'm
I got
looking forward
too.
to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's gonna be a great year. I
romance.
always stagger my romances. They're like
Mhm.
little palate cleansers.
Yeah.
Maybe not Abby. Abby will hit you, and you're like, ooh,
Every time.
yeah.
Woof.
But
Woof. I think she's like one of those every April she comes out or something like
Yes.
that. It's gonna be a good Q1, I
Yeah.
think.
I
A
know.
lot of these are coming out January, February, March,
Yep.
April.
Yep.
I'm pumped. I'm ready for some romance.
do it.
Let's do it. I mean, well, we already did Onyx Storm, then we're gonna do Abby. We got some good stuff. Some of these might actually even be part of our book club reads
Yeah,
too.
absolutely.
So like if there's
Read
any,
along.
yeah, if there's any you've really been wanting to read, let us know. Put them in the comments and the video, and we can prioritize
Yeah.
that. But yeah, this one's a little bit of a short and sweet
Yep.
episode. So
Happy Valentine's Day.
happy Valentine's or Galentine's or
Galentine's.
whatever tines it is for
Yes.
you. Have it.
Don't
Have a
forget
day.
to like, subscribe, share, comment,
share,
all the
heart,
things. And
whatever it's called.
yeah, we'll,
Join us.
we'll reach you next time.
Yeah. Bye.
Bye.